Welcome to Dimension 119, a dimension where anything can happen. Prepare for the strange and unexpected. Enjoy today's episode.
What's going on, everyone? It is Nathan with Dimension 119, and we're back at it again for more Curse of Strahd. I am finally at home and also have quote unquote finished the studio. So if there's echoing or anything like that, feel free to let me know because I'm still moving stuff in, so the sound's a little bit weird, and I'm still getting used to where I'm putting my mic, getting everything together. Um, Other than that, I'm going to post the links to the Discord and a couple other things in the chat while we do the recap. I think Nathan Prime is doing the recap today.
And I am not muted anymore. So recap. What happened was we got the band back together at what was it? It was a monastery with the abbot, that area there. So we got everyone back together, and then we went on the hunt for the witch, who is Frog Maga. What's the witch's name?
Baba Lysaga.
Baba
Or
Lysaga.
Baba Lasagna, Baba whatever you want to call it.
Boba Tea.
Baba Lebowski. And so we went on the hunt for her, but we ran into an old friend, Erskine. I'm still getting Erstin. Excuse my naming. I'm just meeting all of these people. So we ran into an old friend, Erstin, who was schoolyard bullying an elf that I have not met yet. So we intervened. Oh, nobody has. Yeah, so we intervened and we laid down a smackdown. Some of us took some smacks as well. I came away unscathed, along with Soul and other rogue. Larenthar. There we go. I appreciate all of the help. The day was victorious. We defeated our enemies. Huge help from Orden with the turn undead to keep all the vampires or some type of aura. Kept the vampires at bay so that we can do what we need to do. Twist at the end, which was pretty cool. I want to say it was Ragnar, Iris. After defeating Erskine, one of Nathan's characters tied up the body, stripped it almost nude, and revivified it because Erskine was laying claims that he killed Baba Lysaga and had the gem we are looking for. So we're gonna get to the bottom of that tonight on Dimension 199. 119.
Should have titled this episode Erskine.
So, what's up, Tyler? I think he's dead.
No.
Yay. All right. So, what's the plan?
That wasn't actually Tyler. That was one of my sound clips.
So what's the plan?
I think we're gonna interrogate Erskine.
Well, I was happy with him dead, so you guys can talk to him, because if I talk to him, I'm just going to kill him again and waste your spell.
Yeah, same.
Iris casts Revivify on Erston, and he kind of stutters awake, opens his eyes, looks around, realizes that he's tied up and has got Iris probably straddling him, keeping him to the ground. He's like,
He's tied up and
what's
we're
the meaning of
family.
this? Well, you straddled him, keeping him to the ground. You're keeping him down. I didn't mean like in a fucking position, you jackass.
You said you know where the gym is. You'll be telling us where that is now, won't you?
Why should I answer to you? I have no family connections, no reason to talk to you. I have nothing to answer.
I did just save your life after all. You know, you were quite dead.
And that's what makes you weak.
How hurt is he looking?
He's at 1 HP. So he's bad. He's still hurt. Clinging to life.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Zone of Truth so that he has to answer to us.
Everybody in the zone, which is a 15-foot radius, has to make a charisma saving throw. So I would assume Syraxis, I don't know if Soul's going to be anywhere near you. Ragnar, Iris, and Erston have to make charisma saving throws.
Yeah, Caraxis is definitely trying to pay attention to what's going on. He's very curious.
I'll just kind of like snarl at him and I'll say the words for my spell in halfling so he won't recognize them.
Iris got a 16.
Erston got a 14.
It's a 14 to is the spell save.
Hell yeah, he passed. He's aware of the spell and thus can avoid answering questions, so he doesn't have to answer now. Okay, so carry on. Syraxis, you cannot tell a lie.
Is he the only one?
Ragnar got a nat 1.
Okay, cool.
I was about to say, sorry, the level 4 cannot pass your spell check.
Do I know that he passed this?
Yes.
You know whether each creature succeeds or fails. So you know Erston passed the check.
Well, I'm gonna just like roll my eyes and be like, well, that was a waste of a spell.
You're not kidding.
Iris, can you give him a little bit more health?
I don't think that's a very good idea, dearie. The point is not saving him until we know what he knows. You know, he didn't want us to kill him, but someone went ahead and did that.
That's not exactly what I was thinking. And I'm gonna pull out the sword and I'll crouch down to where I'm on Urston's level and I'll put it right in front of his face and I'm like, this hurt, didn't it? This blade radiates holiness. I bet it doesn't feel good on your damn vampire skin.
It does not. It did its job, but you will regret bringing me back to life.
Iris, give him a little bit more health, and I'll whittle it away. Give him a good reason to talk.
If anyone heals him, I will kill him. I don't care about what you guys want from him. I'll kill him if you heal him. And that's what Soul's gonna say when she hears that. I'll kill him if you even help him a little bit.
Iris just kind of like waves back at Soul. No one's healing him unless he helps us. Then we might consider it. Orden, Derry, I think you might need to take a step back. I'm not sure we're to that point.
I'll just sheath the sword and like literally take a step back, but I'm still glaring at Erston.
Now, you said you wanted to defeat us and then kill Strahd and then go after the family. Now you're alive to try to do that again if you like. And we can put you into a position where if you want to try to have a second go at us, you can. But you're not getting that unless you're willing to tell us what's going on here. What happened to the witch and where the gem is?
So, you're asking him where the gem is?
Yes.
He would respond. The gem, it's long traveled away from here. I sent it away the second I finished with that witch and discovered its location. You'll never find it. As he's coughing and spitting up blood.
I'm gonna grab one of his wounds and just squeeze it.
And he'll writhe in pain. What's the point of torturing me? If you're gonna kill me, do it. You'll get no information from me.
Iris starts laughing, like kind of almost a maniacal laughter. And you'll notice that at this point, Ragnar turns his back and walks a few steps away. And it just won't turn and look at anything that's going on right now. And Iris says, "No one said anything about killing you. At least not for a good long while. You've done some things, and you need to answer for them. Unless you want to give us the right answers. Then we can discuss what happens next."
He just laughs at himself and and spits in your face. You fools! I will enact my revenge. This will not be the last you hear or see of me. And you kind of see him laughing and kind of wriggling at his bonds that you have him tied in. He sees that he can't get free. And then he looks at you, Iris, looks you straight in the eye, then at Ragnar, and he just laughs and starts coughing again. You will get no useful information on me. It's hopeless. Whether by my hands or by the bastard that brought us here, you will die. You'll never escape this place.
Ragnar's gonna come charging over and shove Iris out of the way and grab Orden. Like, he can't grab him by the shirt or anything. He just kind of grabs, like, puts his hands on his shoulders. "Brother."
Wait. You said Orden. You can't reach Orden's shoulders.
I mean, Erskine. He'll grab Erskine and look at him and say, "Brother, I know what it's like to have died here. I know I know you're trying to take out the family and don't want to be a part of it. But I know there's a part of you in there somewhere that at least craves the afterlife that we've been told about. At least some part of it. You can't get there here. Trust me, I know. I was dead long enough to know that there's nothing but darkness if you die here. Trust me, you don't want that. And do yourself a
Die.
favor and turn away from this stupidness that you're following right now and help us.
Even if I wished to turn back from my path, there is no way to save me in Morden's eyes, in our family's eyes. I have become something of pure darkness, and it has taken me, and I will enact revenge and take what is rightfully mine. And you'll see like the bonds start loosening on him, and like
As
they're
soon
falling, and he immediately shape changes into a bat and starts flying away.
as soon as the
Can I roll to hit him with a fireball?
bonds start to loose, Iris would
Hit him with a fireball. You
stab
hit
at him
everybody
with
with
a
a
spear.
fireball.
I
Could I
meant
use?
fireball.
Hey,
Make
Derek.
it. You have make attacks at disadvantage.
Can
Okay.
Hey, Derek. I texted you because I didn't
Yeah, I
want to
saw it.
interrupt the
You're
IP.
ready.
Okay.
You had a ready attack.
Yeah.
I've got
Make
sleep ready.
attacks with
Alright.
disadvantage.
Oh, even if I was preparing for it? I
Like,
guess I wasn't preparing for him to turn into a bat.
into a bat. Exactly.
That's fair.
Disadvantage was 21.
Did I do it?
No, you miss, brother.
Oh, did I miss? I'm always
you
fucking
weren't at
missing.
you weren't at you weren't at disadvantage anyway, but that still misses.
Oh yeah, so that's straight up miss.
I got a 21 at disadvantage, or a 24.
You hit
So.
a bat, brother.
Good.
All right, and he's at 1 HP, so you technically do kill him, but you would see him shape change back into, like, you'd hit the bat in midair, and you'd see Urson's body fall and plummet to the ground. And this time, Urson's, like, the body doesn't remain there like it had before. It turns into a mist, and it also starts floating away. And this is a mist that you can't attack. It's an ethereal mist.
Can we throw spells at it, even if they're non-attacking spells?
Yeah, there's no way to bind it. It just starts
What
flying away.
What if I cast sleep on it?
He's a vampire. You have to find his resting place and end him there.
Oh, he's a vampire?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he got changed into a vampire.
That makes so much sense.
Orden's not really knowing what's happening. He's going to try to grab at the mist.
And Orden's hands just... It's not super high in the air yet, so you're like jumping, and your hands are just going like straight through the mist as you're just grasping at air.
Can we get an idea on where exactly he's going?
Let me pick a place. What direction are you going to go? Now.
No, we don't know where he's going.
I'm
any idea?
asking I'm asking myself where are we now?
Oh,
Pretty far south.
yeah, I mean that I
almost
have no
far
reference
south.
for that.
It is heading even further south.
Can I send my pygmy wyvern to follow him? I don't believe
How far can
can-
it go?
it. From what I understand, it can go as far as it wants. I just lose I just lose connection with it after 100 feet.
Oh, it definitely more than 100 feet. So you like
Yeah.
if can your wyvern re-find you somehow?
Yeah. I mean, like so if he's within 100 feet of me, then I can like see through his eyes and stuff like that. But he can go gallivant off. I can go have him like, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but from what I gather of the Find Familiar spell, is my familiar um can like go deliver messages to like other fucking cities and shit. But after a certain point, I just can't like see through his eyes and have that telepathic connection to him. So I would ask the wyvern to follow him for, I don't know, a fair distance and try to gauge, and then come back and see if we can figure it out, if that makes sense.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know how that would work either, but sure.
Can you talk to your wyvern? Like when it comes back?
He can talk to it telepathically as long as it's within 100 feet. That I know for sure.
Yeah, so if it goes off and follows this guy and then finds like maybe some landmarks on the way over, and then he comes back to us, we can um we can get an idea on where he's going. If we, as long as the wyvern pays attention to like landmarks and stuff like that. It says nothing about how far away it can be from me. Just if it gets dropped to 0 hit points, it disappears, leaving behind no physical form. And then I just got to cast the spell again. Yeah,
Right.
Thrixus has no, like, he doesn't see this thing as a pet. It is just simply, you are a tool for me to use. That's his opinion of this adorable little wyvern. No connection to it. So if it goes away, then it goes away. I'll just re-summon it.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you can send Syraxis or your pygmy wyvern to follow it.
Does it have a name?
Nope, familiar. That is what he's named it. He's never thought of giving it a name. He's very he hasn't developed those emotional skills, especially being with his master for so long. He thinks in almost a purely utilitarian kind of way.
Dude, hang out with Orden. He will get those emotional skills going for you.
That's
Bring
kind of the
everybody
plan.
to the
Master's not going to like it.
Currently, I don't know if you can be if you're all at the map of Barovia, correct?
Yeah.
Take that as yes. You are currently right here. This is where the ruins of Berez are. The mist is starts floating over the river and just starts heading south. But that's the direction it's heading.
From looking at my map, can I tell if it's trying to go towards the Amber Temple over here?
Well, you can't tell that kind of a direction because it's like miles, and the Amber Temple's miles and miles and miles. There's 1, 2, it's like 3 miles away, so you can't tell exact super direction, but it's heading that way, ish.
Can I have wyvern's directions be like, because I'm assuming like Rexus has been with y'all throughout this adventure. He just hasn't, been a player character. So would he know where the Amber Temple is?
Has Kevin been with you? Was he with you when you learned where the Amber Temple is?
I think
I guess
so
that's a good
because
question.
he found Rictavio first.
Kevin was, but I don't think he had Syraxis yet.
Mm.
Has Regin
Yeah,
been
so
telling
then-
Syraxis everything?
Kevin hasn't told Nathan. Probably
I
not.
wouldn't think so. No, because Syrexis would definitely be one who doesn't ask questions that are not directly important to the situation at hand. He wouldn't want to bother Regen with such things. So more than likely, he probably doesn't know anything about that. If all that were to be the case.
How fast is the mist moving?
Let me see how fast can. It has a flying speed of 20 feet, so it's not super fast.
Can we just chase after it?
Yeah, for real. The Wyvern has a 60 feet fly speed.
Do you want to swim over a nasty, boggy, gross river?
Obviously.
Well, we can keep following the road south.
There isn't a
That
road
goes
south.
over a bridge.
It does. The river doesn't. There's no bridge that crosses the river until. Here, let me bring it back to the map.
I mean, it might be a little detour.
It's
but
more than a little detour.
yeah,
What am I doing?
Can we tell how deep
Oh,
the river
fuck up.
is?
probably deep enough to be annoying. I think.
Yes. Closest you don't know, you would know since you have a map. The closest crossing on the river is over this way. And it's the mist was heading directly south.
Oh, and we're on that dotted road on
Yep,
the
you're
river.
right there. Yes. It would be 2 point. It's a
gotcha.
2.5 mile detour basically.
And
It's
mean,
where
two
is
and a
it at
half
this point?
miles if we go straight down. It's not
Yeah,
2.5
over-
miles if we follow the
Yeah,
road or go
over a
around.
river.
Iris eventually will pipe up and say, we came here to find the gem and deal with the witch. Trust me, I want to go after me brother myself. But especially after what happened the first time, I don't think we can handle it just yet. We need to take care of ourselves as well if we're going to take care of him. And we need to finish our commitment here. At least see what's going on. Now you can all go running over the countryside and trying to swim rivers and whatnot. But my brother and I, we're at least going to go sneak up on the hut and see if anything's happening there before we wander off.
Yeah, we have no proof that your brother killed the switch anyway. For all I know, it could just be, boisterous claims.
Soul would speak up and say, and I expended a lot of extra abilities. So maybe the two loudest, clunkiest, raising threats up from the ground people shouldn't be the ones sneaking to the hut.
Then one of you go check it. We don't need to even fight her if she is alive. We just need to find out. Because if she's not, then maybe we can take care of this now and get it over with. If she is dead, if she's alive, then we know it and we don't have to walk into a surprise later.
Sol would look over to Syraxis and be like, "You're small. Can't you be quiet? Go over there. I'm not risking my life. I like living."
With a bit of a scowl, he would look at Soul, and he would say, "If you're looking for someone who can be quiet, then I may be the best option." And he looks around and he says, especially for this group, can't be slinging fireballs everywhere. I can go and check up ahead.
If anything happens, I'll make sure to sling one of those fireballs to protect you. I got your back, little one. You'll be fine. Go please the master and go see if there's a big cranky witch over there.
And
You taking
He-
orders from this bitch?
Gonna let her boss you around like that.
he would mind his tongue, and he would ignore Soul in that comment, and he would look toward probably Iris, I guess.
I wasn't calling
And
myself
say-
the master, by the way, if you guys misunderstood that. That wasn't me calling myself the master
Yeah,
at all.
I knew that.
But still, you're
The-
ordering him around.
And I assume that the party would
Adjusting.
also have pointed off towards the hut, which you could see now. It's not foggy. It's about 1,200 feet away.
Oh, is the hut right there?
Yeah, the hut's here.
Oh, geez. So we just had a big ol' explosion-filled fight in front of
you-
the hut?
It's not right in front of the hut. You're 1,200 feet away. You're about 4 football fields. Because each square is 100 feet on this map.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I'll,
So
I'll give you a token instead of Orden, so you can move yourself.
noise. Now, did we go
Since
along
you've
with
ne-
that
you've
plan?
since you've never been here, I can read things around. Where did my brass go? There it is. You can go ahead.
So did we go with the plan for having my wyvern follow the fog, or did we say, fuck that, we'll focus on the witch first?
That's up to you, man. We can do both.
Yeah, well, I'll say the pygmy wyvern went through and followed the best he could. If I don't see him by
What are you
by
doing
tomorrow,
there?
if I don't see him by morning, then I'll assume that he died. So I guess I'll start making my way up to the hut.
The thing is, does your
Um,
pygmy wyvern always know where you are?
I'm not sure, Derek. That seems like maybe a you question.
That seems like a Kevin question.
That does seem like a Kevin question, but I think it might be one of those up to the DM kind of things.
True.
Yeah.
Screw it. He could eventually find
Is
you.
it?
Let's hope.
Yeah. We'll just wander around Barovia and run into us. We're all over the place anywhere.
It'd be kind of hard to miss our group, to be fair.
Yeah, just follow the fireballs.
Okay, so which way is Syraxis heading?
So in the middle here, are these hills at all?
No, it's flat, like super marshy swampland in between here, like in between the road there. It's quite boggy and marshy. Stop drawing on my
Gotcha.
goddamn map. Whoops, I killed Syraxis.
He's dead.
It was lies all along. I guess what I would do is I'd probably follow along the water line, and just sneakily, let's see, sneakily maybe like get up to here and see what's going on over here. What is it?
And you're being stealthy the whole time, right? Or trying to be.
Absolutely. Yeah, doing my best.
Roll 2 stealth checks.
2 stealth checks.
We'll say this as the entire thing is 2 stealth checks.
Gotcha. The entire thing?
Yeah, from here to the hut is 2.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. And stealth. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's my first stealth check.
Syraxis has never been in a bog before, and he's just splashing around like a fucking fish. Just making all kinds of noise. You see him start trotting off into towards the hut down the southern road, and he's just plopping here and there.
I'm fucking waist deep in mud.
Orden's kind of just pacing back and forth, and he stops to look at him just like squelching in the mud, and he turns to look at Soul like, are you sure about this?
If he dies, he dies. But we don't die, and I get to live. So
Oh my gosh.
I'm supporting him. You know, if I gotta fireball him to save all of us, I will. It'll be okay. He doesn't have to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's not even anything that I can do to help.
Okay.
Like, all of my spells are gone from that fucking, from that
confrontation conflict.
Yeah.
As you you're heading down the southern road, as you approach this cluster of ruined cottages separated by lone stone walls, you see a short stretch of dirt road that has remained intact. Like, I assumed like your shitty check here was where the road kind of broke off and became marshy, and you slopped through the marsh a little bit, and then you get to about here, and you start to see cottages and a road that goes in between them. But as of right now, you are being stealthy.
As far as I know. How do I get my bubble to pop back up?
And you can move your token whenever you'd like to as well.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm like right about here or so?
Yeah, in that area.
Right over the up. I would get down and I would like just take a moment and pause and try to get a sense of the area. Can I like make a perception check to see if I notice anything?
Yeah, for sure.
Which, I mean, you know, what the hell good would that do? But we'll see if I keep rolling ones. Come on, perception.
Oh, you perceptive.
All right.
You go from a nat 1 to a nat 20. Let's go.
I'm an all-in kind of guy.
All in, balls out.
Yeah, high speed, low drive.
You get the feel for the surroundings. It's other than the buzzing of bugs and flies, well, flies are bugs, but flies, mosquitoes, swamp creatures. There is no movement in the marsh. There's no humanoid life or beast life.
I'm not really worried about the marsh. I'm more concerned about the ruined. Yeah.
You don't see any. There's no movement. It like this whole village area is dead silent.
Hey Nathan, aren't you glad you used your 20 for that?
I'm stoked. So I guess I will. So tell me about these ruins. Can I like climb up them to kind of get a a vantage point view, or what are we talking about, Derek?
Every one of the roofs has collapsed, like over time in decay. Like there's still a little bit of like the stone frameworks and stuff like that, but so you can climb up on the stone work, I
Wall.
guess. Yeah, the walls.
Yeah,
There's all like
so if
cement
that's the
blocks and
case,
shit like that.
I'd like to move up here and kind of scurry up and like peek my little eyes over the stone wall and see if I see anything going on at the hut, like Mr. Wilson from Home Improvement.
No, you don't see any movement or any signs of life coming from the hut either.
Is like the door open, windows busted out, or am I too far to tell? I guess
The
that
door
is.
is open. The door is open. The door is always open. There is no door.
Wow. All right, I'm gonna sneak my way through the town as carefully as possible. And I'd like to stop like right here so I have cover from this wall and kind of that wall.
Go ahead and make your second stealth check.
Will do. And the whole time that Strexus is doing this, he is deathly afraid. Like he's trying to talk himself out of even doing this in the first place. That is
Better.
a solid 13 stealth. It's a little better.
It's still only a 5, but better.
I think this game's rigged. Is what I'm what I'm coming to.
You know, Laurenthar says the same exact thing about the Roll20 dice roller.
He only says
It's
that when he
yeah.
gets a bad roll, though.
I'm convinced. I'm convinced because I have it set to rogue. It's giving me low stealth scores. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah. So as far as I know, I think I'm doing good. I think maybe he might be like muttering to himself a little too much, like just bitching and moaning about having to be here all alone. Everyone abandoned him during the fight multiple times. He's probably cursing Soul a little bit there in particular. But yeah, he's gonna peek over that wall again unless he gets shot or something.
So confused. I can't see what you guys are muttering about in Discord.
Don't worry about it.
I need to know.
Just ignore the voices in your head, Derek.
Okay. What did you say, Nathan?
I said Sirexis is going to, yeah, he's being probably a little too loud, just bitching and moaning at himself about having to be out here alone again. And he would like to peer up over this wall here to see if he sees anything.
You see that towards the hut, you see that there were definitely signs of conflict, that there was a fight here. Some of the branches on the hut have been broken, and are like, there's big branches, like tree limbs are on the ground. There's some like charred pieces of the tree that have been burnt. There was definitely signs of a fight here.
Boy, I should have kept that fucking wyvern. Now, because I see the hut here, I'm not just going to go out into the open without scanning, kind of seeing if I can see anything over what looks like a farm over here and another ruin over that way. And I'd like
let me where'd it go? Okay. over here in this area, you see like this building here at the southern port of this little area is an old church. You can see that like this, there's a steeple where the roof has collapsed and all that kind of that thing. You see the empty shell of an old stone church, north of which is a cemetery of leaning gravestones enclosed by a disintegrating iron fence. And then like and you can tell that part of the cemetery is starting to sink and be overtaken by the marsh bog. And then to the south, why do I keep clicking that? You see toward the south end of the village lie the remains of a mansion built on higher ground. It has been reduced to piles of stone and rotting timber. Their empty arched windows stare at you. And south of the ruin, an untamed garden runs rampant, which you couldn't see the garden any rightness until you get up there, but yeah, that kind of thing. It's an old stone mansion that is built higher than the rest of the Burez.
So the mansion is on a bit of a hill.
Yes.
Okay,
And I'll put
gotcha.
these back down since you don't have any contact with those 2 tokens. The stupid other rogue did.
Oh, gotcha. So what I'll do is, I think it's about time for me to just get out there and do it. I'm gonna take my dude here, and I'd like to pop over on this corner, take another quick look, and then sprint over to like on one side of the door openings.
I don't know if it would change your mind, so I'll bring you back here for just a second. You kind of pop
Uh-oh.
out that way and look around. You would see
Mhm.
that standing in the boggy areas surrounding, like here and here, and like going over here, you
Mhm.
see like scarecrows that would have been used to be standing straight up are kind of tilted and broken and lying and along the marsh. So old scarecrows are also present.
Now,
And they look like they have also been destroyed. They're not like they're destroyed, but not by like rotting over time, falling
right,
apart. They have been torn
like
apart.
like vandalism.
Sure.
Um,
Or like they came to life
well,
and somebody killed them again.
I don't know if I'm still trying to figure out how much contact Srexus has had with this world and would
None
identify
here.
that as a possible threat.
You probably wouldn't have, and the party honestly didn't either. They avoided them when they were here.
Gotcha. If that's the case, I think instead of running straight to here, I think Srexus is enough of a Scooby-Doo wimp to kind of like walk around back against the wall here, and then kind of cut across to around this side, if that makes sense.
Can we see him as he's doing this, just in case he needs help?
You see like a speck on the in the distance. So yeah, you could see him doing it, but that's a long way away.
Yeah, you've probably seen him like jump up on the wall and like scratch his feet like a little cat trying to climb something, as he peers over the walls. You can just see his little legs going.
Someone has built a ramshackle wooden hut on the stump of what was once an enormous tree. The rotting roots of the stump thrust up from the mire like the legs of a gigantic spider. An open doorway is visible on one side of the hut, beneath which floats the upside-down, hollowed-out skull of a giant. Flanking the hut's doorway are 2 iron cages that dangle like hideous ornaments from the eaves. These cages have been previously opened, and they're what you see what were feathers lying on the, I guess, porch of the hut. And then I shall bring you to the map of the hut. Okay, and bring you. You can be over there.
All right, let me just orient the map real quick. So, as far as I know, this is the first time I'm interacting with this hut.
Yes, this is the first time you are interacting with the hut.
Okay.
Yeah, as far as with our
nope.
party, you were not with us when we came here before.
Gotcha. So I don't know if that giant skull is new or not.
No, you do not.
Oof. Well, if that's the case, I would use my mage hand and oh no. I would use my mage hands and I would not.
And what's unique about like this skull? It's not hanging. It's not sitting on anything. It is legitimately hovering in midair.
Hmm.
And it's upside down, like so the where the spine would connect to it. It's literally just upside down.
Right. You know what? I think I am thinking too deep into this. What Syrexis is going to do is he's going to try to listen for anything going on inside there.
Make a perception check.
Get over here. Perception. Do it.
Fantastic, brother.
Yeah. So Syrexis is gonna basically he got up here, he said, seems like
Scared
no one's home.
shitless.
And he's just gonna leave.
You don't look inside the hut or anything. You just get up there, look around. You just look on the outside and then leave.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going back to the party, and I'm gonna tell them. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's home.
Okay, let's go back to Berez with the party.
That's it.
Oops.
That is as much reconnaissance as you are getting out of Syrexis today. Woof.
Here.
Boy, scared.
He didn't even look inside.
They don't need to know that.
Okay. And you can bring your token over there, and you head. I'll bring it over. You head back to the party. It's like, do you stealth your way back, or do you just hightail it, run your tiny little ass over there?
I would. That's a good question, Derek. When he gets to, so he's gonna get over here. He's gonna stealth here. He's gonna stealth.
Now you can move. You can move your token.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's gonna stealth here, and then he's gonna stealth like here, and then he's gonna run.
So you stealth to about the edge of the town and then hightail your ass.
That's exactly it.
Okay. You see the rest of the party, you see Syrexis slowly make his way through the southern part of Berez, gets to the outskirts, and then books it towards you.
Yeah, and he'll be completely out of breath when he gets there.
I'm gonna run towards him, maybe almost crashing into him because we're both running.
Yeah, he would definitely he'd see you running, and then in his mind he'll think like, "Oh my gosh, it's gonna fucking squish me." So he'll wave you down and say, out of breath, he go, "It's nobody's home. It's completely empty as far as I can see."
Was there a body or anything?
I didn't see one. Uh, I might have missed it. It was pretty dark in there, and it was quiet, very very quiet.
So it sounds.
Soul would say, she'd go, look, see, you made it. I mean, you didn't do a really good job, but you made it. So you get half credit.
I'm gonna squat down so where I could be on Thraxis's level. And now that Urson's gone, a lot of Orden's original kindness has come back now that the sword isn't pumping just pure vitriol and hatred into him. And he says, "Hey, Thraxis, you did a good job. Good. Thanks for going over and looking."
His ears would like droop down a little bit, and he'd get like these big old puppy dog eyes, and you would see his like the tip of his tail would like start wagging and thumping the floor as you said that, and he said um, he wouldn't really say anything to you, but he'd look over at Soul and he would say, um, "At least somebody appreciates me." And
I would
he'd
appreciate if you found a body. So, like I said, you get half credit. You tried. You didn't succeed. You tried. That I'm working with you here. I'm not working against you there, Pipsqueak.
and he says, "Well, it's clear all the way over there, and if there's a body in there, then maybe I just need a little bit of help to find it."
I could shoot you with a fireball if that'll make you run faster.
Look, I'll go over there with
He
you.
would just scowl.
I'll go over with you.
And he would say, "Well, it seems clear on the way over there. So if Soul isn't afraid to come along, we can all go into the hut and look for clues. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be looking for."
Oh, I don't want to go. Soul is going to follow. No, Soul would say, you know what? You can never trust a pipsqueak. I'll just go. If you guys want to go, don't walk next to me because you guys walk very loud and you guys like to fall over. So don't walk close to me, but we can all go
I have a
because I
question.
need
Go
a
ahead.
body.
I have a question for Nathan Beta. Does Ragnar have any kind of PTSD about Perez, or is he totally okay with going back to the hut?
Oh, he's the only reason that he's not already marching towards the hut at this moment is because he died the first time and he realizes he's not quite as powerful as he was even then. He's definitely like staring that direction and kind of like shifting his weight from one foot to the other. Uh, he's definitely itching to go there. He's gotten a little smarter about what happened the first time.
Yeah, it took him death to learn.
But now he knows.
And knowing's half the battle.
Okay, fair enough. And then is the party just gonna head over there? I'm not gonna make you roll stealth checks to get there because as Syraxis has found, there's literally nothing in between here and there.
Yeah, unless Soul just tells us to hang back, then if anyone else goes, then Ragnar and Iris are both going.
Okay, back to the hut we go. Pew.
Because Orden is a little bit taller than Syraxis and probably doesn't have to worry about sneaking into the bog as much, he just goes straight through the bog.
Syraxis would attempt to like jump on your back and have you carry him across the bog because he didn't like that at all.
Of course you can. Like, you're allowed to sit on my shoulders, all Jack and Dexter style. And Orden just looks very in awe of the fact that... Did you finally get that awe? Never mind. He's
Indeed,
just gonna
I
look
did.
very, like, in awe of how cute Syraxis is being.
Okay, you get up to the hut. No problem.
Ragnar is kind of looking to everyone else to see what they do, because he's not going to be the one to start this time if things go south.
I'll go ahead and go up to the door.
He'll be right there with you, though.
Okay. Did you do? Since you have never seen the inside, Nathan, I'll read it out to you, or Nathan Prime, I'll read it out to you. The hut is 15 feet on a side and packed with old furniture, including a wooden cot, a wicker cabinet, a slender wardrobe, a wooden table, a stool, a barrel-topped wooden chest reinforced with brass bands, and an iron tub stained with blood. In the middle of the room is a ghastly wooden crib, and all of the furnishings except for the crib are bolted to the floor. And then, since Orden has walked up and climbed up to the porch area and headed and looked inside the hut, Orden would see as you're climbing, Baba Lysaga's body hanging from the ceiling, just swinging back and forth eerily.
I just
Well,
kind of
from this,
recoil.
he would say, "Oh, from this angle, I can see a little more of it. I didn't look up last time."
Derek, can I cast Detect Magic to see if there's anything weird in the room?
Yes, you can. Now, is there anything weird in the room? What does I know Detect Magic just detects anything with a magical aura, right?
Yeah, within 30 feet.
Okay.
It can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
While he's looking that up, Soul will send a message into Syraxis, into his head, and is gonna say, did you see anything this time?
Can Syraxis send a message? Can he reply to the message, or does he just receive the message?
You get one reply, and then I would have to send another one, so on and so forth. It's not like a permanent connection.
Syraxis, he would be like, well, from it's not that easy. Being this low to the ground, it doesn't necessarily mean I have to look up all the time. I'm not looking on the ceiling. I don't need to explain anything to you, actually.
Okay, Orden, you would sense that there is a abjuration magic coming from the barrel top chest.
I'll look to Syraxis, and I'll be like, I'm gonna go in there. Are you good to come with me?
You would have to push past the swinging body.
Look, I'm okay with that. Is he?
He would say, his eyes would widen at the idea of going into this terrible looking place, and he says, I mean, yeah, if you need some backup, I can accompany you. I'll and he plops down and he just kind of like stays close to you with his hand on his sword.
I'll push the body far enough away to where, like a curtain, I'll just push it aside to where he can come in without it getting in the way, and I will go to the chest and see what's going on there.
Now, is the
Are
body
you-
high enough? Is the body high enough where I can just like walk under it? Because I am like, I don't know how tall
Well,
I am.
I'm being polite.
It was put there on purpose to be seen, so it's hanging from the ceiling as a curtain.
I'm being polite. I'm opening the door for you and holding it.
Oh, and I appreciate that. I just didn't know how tall I was in compared to the disgusting, decrepit face of this witch. But yeah, he'd come in and he'd probably just stick to the corners, kind of like maybe over by this table here when he goes in.
You sit at the table.
Yeah, I'll get on top of the table and just kind of keep watch at everything.
And the chest is literally about north of the bloodied tub.
Oh, this one.
And the chest is on the eastern wall over here. Yeah,
It's hard to move when there's not much space in here.
Like what do you come over to the chest? You see an aura, abjuration like aura coming from the chest, because you know the school of magic that it's from because it's detect magic.
Abjuration. Guys, help me. What class is abjuration?
That's like a
That like
fortification.
transformations or something.
That's transmutation.
Okay, so it's not
abjuration is like fortification spells, I want to say.
So it's not gonna like shoot a fireball at me if I open it.
I believe that would be evocation. School of Magic encompasses protective spells.
Protective spells. That still does it as like trapping spells.
Do I know that?
Yeah.
I should know what abjuration is, like in character, right?
Would you roll a knowledge check of some kind?
Can I help her with that?
Or you both can do Arcana. If Orden says this is an abjuration like spell cast on this chest, yes, you can help her or help him.
I got a 9. And I'll just kind of mutter to Syraxis, there's some kind of abjuration spell on this? Just so he knows in character.
Jesus Christ.
I'm great at
you would know what the abjuration like school is. Like it's protective magics to keep things locked and protected and safe.
Orden has cast Shield of Faith like 1,000 times. You would probably know at least that's abjuration magic.
Yeah, you would know that.
You put a lot of faith in him, man.
Yeah. What's it called? Syraxis would go up to the chest, and he'd poke at it with his short sword, and he'd probably sniff it too. And he said, abjuration, yes, it's you're mostly looking at, from what Master has told me, you're mostly looking at physical or magical barriers, spells to negate physical abilities or sometimes even harm trespassers. It's could be a trap. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe, and he kind of shudders at this idea, but he says maybe maybe Soul would be able to help us out with this one.
Yeah, you make a good point. Soul knows a lot about a lot of magic. And I'll turn to the door. Hey, Soul, can you come in here?
She would enter. When she gets to the dead witch, she would kind of poke her and be like, "So this is the big scary witch." And then she's going to just kind of cut her down and let her slam on the floor and step over her. And she will go right there. Or there's not a lot of fucking room over
There's
there.
not a,
It's
there's not
hard.
a lot of room.
I'll climb onto the bed so that she can have some room to work. And I'll explain this has some kind of abjuration spell. Syraxis says that it could harm someone who tries to open it. You know a lot about magic. Can you open it up?
She, what Soul would say is, I do know a lot about this kind of magic. It could be good, it could be bad. She could just be protecting something valuable, but there is a chance, that it could do harm if we open this. So, what I would do if I had the ability, which I didn't want to pick this one up, I'm more of a fiery kind of person. Is anyone here capable of making a little assistant that could open the chest when we wait outside in case there is a trap? Such as something to open the chest by magic itself. Or, if anyone knows how, which, again, I didn't pick that one up, if someone knows how to dispel it, we could dispel it as well. But I think the best bet, if anyone knows how to create something to potentially take this bullet, that would be our best bet. And we wait outside and not get hurt, because the idea is not getting hurt.
Syraxis would say, um, well, you are the most magical of the group here. You don't have any spells to unlock or create anything, but is just fire with you?
She would look at you and be like, "Are you testing me?"
No. It's simply just a question. I mean, I can if we can dispel the magic or activate it in some way where we're not affected from it, I can pick a lock from quite a distance away with Mage Hand. It's a skill I've become quite effective with, but I can't do much of it without the spell being gone.
The soul would look at you and say, "Well, I didn't waste my time learning how to do that stuff because I just saw better use elsewhere with my abilities and where I was in my strong suits. So, why don't we just trigger the trap at a safe distance? And we walk away. Trigger trap, come back, see what happens. If there's anything that was worth it, this person's obviously not going to blow up their most valuable possession. I mean, see, she's laying on the ground there. The worst that's going to happen is she might roll over."
You say she's not going to blow up her most valuable possession, and Orden just remembers the cart that you weren't there for the cart, but I know someone who has blown up their most valuable possessions. So he kind of just winces when you say that. Why don't you guys go outside and I'll open it up?
Um, hmm. So that's okay. Well, what Soul would just do is something she didn't want to have to do what she considers to be heavy lifting, I guess. Right? Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's the right word.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to do any work.
Yeah. So she would say, just step outside, damn it.
All right, if you think you got it.
I'm just gonna try to make it blow up as you're walking out the door.
Please don't hurt yourself, okay?
Not gonna. I'm doing what I'm best at, and that is experimenting. So Soul is going to cast Mage Hand because she has Mage Hand, and she's just gonna try to go in. Like, are you able to like push things with Mage Hand, or is it like you can interact with objects, right?
Let me see.
Yeah, you can
Read
interact.
Mage Hand again.
You can interact with objects up to, I think it's like 5 pounds. So I would assume you got like 5 pounds of force.
So if that's the case, Soul is just going to use this Mage Hand and just like fly the thing towards the chest and just start smacking the chest, shaking the lock on it, hitting the sides, hitting the top, just trying to make it do anything fun.
You're trying to be
banging on the
Fonzie.
chest with this Mage Hand, and
Absolutely.
nothing is happening on the chest. Syraxis has already poked the chest a little bit, so that pounding on it doesn't trigger anything, if there is anything.
What she's going to do is she's going to look down at Syraxis and be like, okay, go pick the lock. It looks fine to me. I approve. If you die, I'll bring you back. It'll be okay.
I didn't say anything about a lock. There's no lock on the chest.
Well, he's going to look at Syraxis and say, go open it. I'll bring you back if you die.
If there's no lock on it, then what Syraxis would do, if we've determined that poking it isn't really going to do anything,
Then the Mage Hand can open it, right?
Huh?
Yeah, Mage Hand could open it.
All right,
Yeah,
make the Mage Hand open it.
Yeah, so I would. Or do you want your Mage Hand to open it, or my Mage Hand to open it?
I'll open it because I thought it was
Okay.
locked for some reason because I thought I heard someone say lock picking. Otherwise, I would have just had it.
Oh, Syraxis said lock picking. He's good at lock picking. His
Well-
Mage Hand can lock
well,
pick, but there's
Yeah,
no lock on this chest.
All
I
right,
can use my Mage Hand to be to finesse locks, and I'm dexterous with my Mage Hands. It's not just a.
Does Mage Hand have health?
Nope.
Does it just
Alright.
disappear if something happens to it?
open it up.
I don't know.
You use the Mage Hand to open up this chest, and as the Mage Hand opens up, lightning, like a bolt of lightning, shoots out of the chest, and your Mage Hand disappears. And the 4 of these pop out of the chest. I'll post it in Discord.
Fireball, fireball, fireball.
4 of these pop out of the chest and start scurrying around on the floor of the hut.
So I don't know if you guys have seen Ordin Around Lightning. He absolutely panics. Like, he ducks and covers when he sees that lightning coming out.
And let me
Hey,
bring them
Derek,
onto the.
for those of us who were distracted for a moment, what came out of the chest?
I
It's in
posted it in Discord.
Little bony hands.
Did you say something about lightning, though?
Yeah, lightning came out of shot out of the chest when Tyler's Mage Hand.
Oh, okay.
Tyler, thank you for saving me from that.
Yep. That's what I'm here for.
And these little crawling claws are just scurrying around
Are they trying to
aimlessly.
grab anything, or are they just being useless?
Since you aren't in the building, you aren't in the hut, they don't know you're there. If you were there, they'd be attacking you, but they're just scurrying around like little just creepy crawly hands across the floor, zipping around.
Okay. Can I cast Mage Hand again and then have my Mage Hand go reach inside the chest to see if there's anything else?
You can only lift a certain amount with Mage Hand too. So if it's too heavy,
Oh, I'm
you won't
just
be able
trying to
lift
see
it.
if it finds anything else. If it finds something, then I'll go on to the next step.
You
Well, if-
use your mage hand. Do you have to see what it's picking up, or can it just randomly pick up shit that you can't even see?
I'm
You know,
not
you ask these
sure.
questions, and I don't have the answer.
Mage hand. A spectral floating hand appears at a point you choose and lasts for the duration. You can use your action to control the hand. You can use it to manipulate an object, open an unlocked door or container, slow or retrieve an item from an open container, or pour the contents out of a vial.
But it doesn't say anything that it has to be in sight.
Yeah,
It doesn't say anything about sight.
Container. So
Well, if Sol and I both do our mage hand, can we kind of just like scoop in there and pull out if there's anything in there?
if he says yes to that, Soul is going to Soul is going to gain so much respect for Syraxis if he runs up and just sends his little hand over there.
Yeah, your hand, both of your hands would pull out a couple pieces of gold each, showing that there's something in the chest.
All right, well, there's money.
So Soul would look over to Syraxis and say, "That's the most impressive thing I've seen you do yet. That is amazing. You have great potential if you can just embrace the magic that's in you like I have. Now, let's just spend a while not going in there with the creepy crawly hands, and let's just empty out everything inside the chest. We ain't got to go in there. I'm in no hurry."
So we're just doing claw game style. We're going in.
Yep. I'm not going to step foot in that hut. Unless you
Can-
guys all want to go in there and fight them. I'm not going in the fucking hut.
It'd take you hours to bring out everything in this chest.
We got
Hey,
time.
How much
We're
is
gonna
in
go
that chest?
women.
Everyone can get a rest in.
All
You know,
right,
we
all
can
right.
get some health back.
Well, you
I'll
and Syraxis wouldn't be able to get a short rest because you're not actually resting because you're commanding your spell.
Well, there
The others would,
Well,
but you two
well-
wouldn't.
we go. I'll rest on our next walk. I'll just hang out on someone's back and take a nappy nap. I only got 3 spell slots. That's like an hour nap.
So so I need my spells.
Yeah, but magic. Oh, that's
Magic hand is
true, I
only a
guess.
cantrip, but to regain spell
Yeah.
slots, you got a long rest,
Yeah.
not
Right.
short rest.
Is Soul a sorcerer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
can use
because
my-
you're twin spelling, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, either way, like these little hands can't be too dangerous. I mean, Syraxis probably can't
They're
take them,
the
but like,
size of a sure.
So what if Soul then turned around to the party and she says this instead. She says the idea that we could shovel the gold out of the chest or whatever else could possibly be in there, including said potential gem we need. Or you guys could go rock smash whoever's healthy enough. If you're not healthy, just stay outside and pretend to be useful. But we need to go stompy some hands. Or how about I just burn the whole fucking place down?
Alternate idea, and then I'm gonna step up and I will cast sleep on these hands.
Okay, roll your dice for sleep.
That's 29 hit points.
Wait, can they even? How can a hand go to sleep? How the fuck does it go to? Wait, charmed, exhaust. They're immune to charmed, exhaustion, and poison.
That's not charm, poison, or
That's not-
exhaustion.
How
that's
does
not
a hand
sleep.
go to sleep?
I don't know, but I just did it.
Derek, I think you're missing the fact that these are hands crawling around without bodies.
But how does that go to sleep?
Don't be mad because I outsmarted you.
All of these four little crawling, gross, decrepit hands, they're scurrying around this hut, and then instantly every single one of them just stops moving and flops over.
Yeah.
Because they have a whopping, where'd it go?
It's going to be a very sad amount of health that's going to just absolutely piss me off. I took time trying to think.
Where'd it go?
Hey,
It's
least
definitely not a lot.
A whopping 2 HP apiece.
at least two of us have the HP of level 1 characters, and I've seen a couple of hands take out level 1 characters.
They can sneak up on you. I had hands almost kill Kevin's character in one game. Choked him out.
You never underestimate the random objects laying around a house. I mean, the first time we played Curse of Strahd, somebody almost died to a broom.
That's true.
I forgot about Jacob. Jacob getting the shit beat out of him by a broom.
I'm gonna walk.
Damn it, Mickey.
I'm gonna walk over and just pick up this chest and bring it outside for everyone, so we can all share.
Okay, then.
Do we get a short rest? Did you say?
You can take a short rest if you're wanting. Everybody wants to, yeah, while you're plundering and looking in through this chest.
I would like to take longer than a short rest.
If you want to try to take a long rest here for 8 hours, go right ahead.
I mean, at least not right now, but we do need to make that a priority.
For sure. But in this chest, there is, I don't know where you're going to spend it, 1,300 gold pieces, 5 gemstones worth 500 gold apiece, a vial containing oil of sharpness. There are 2 spell scrolls in this chest, one containing mass cure wounds and the other containing revivify. There is a pouch containing 10 +1 sling bullets. There is a set of pipes of haunting and a stone of good luck.
Is all this in the book?
Say what?
Is this in the book?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll screenshot it.
Oh, bless you, Derek.
Soul would like the scrolls, and then she would like a cut of the gold, and then she would show no interest in anything else.
And my question going to that I asked before we started streaming, is anybody proficient in wind instruments? Because that type of haunting, you need to be proficient in wind instruments.
I mean, the Oakenbeards are like Irish. Do they know how to use it?
They're like Irish? That makes no sense. That's not true.
It's like bagpipes.
Yeah, it's like bagpipes. It's a set of bagpipes.
It makes sense.
Our dwarf Irish.
I'm hurt by this.
Yeah, Nathan is Irish. Can he use?
I'm hurt.
So is Tyler.
Is he really?
Oh yeah. Tyler's birthday is St. Patrick's Day.
Well, roasted.
So Tyler, can you use these?
Well, see, like the big question is, are they Scottish bagpipes or Irish bagpipes? Because there's a difference.
Is there?
Look, I personally feel like a cleric should get some form of instrument, but apparently we just get a gaming set as part of our background skills. You know, that's so okay.
Sirexis would try to grab that stone of good luck if it's available.
Yeah, he's gonna see you going for it, and he'll just go ahead and hand it over to you. And you see Orden, he looks over this stuff, and he's like trying his best to do math in his head to how he can split 1,300 gold 8 ways. Like you just see him like counting in the air and like looking at his fingers.
Here, Nathan, I'm copying and pasting it. Here's the stone of good luck. While this polished stone is on your person, you gain a +1 bonus to ability checks and saving throws.
All of them?
Yes, ability checks and saving throws. Not just anything, everything but attack.
I'm going to count
Yes.
out 160 gold pieces each and give them to all of you guys, and I'll also hang on to 160 to give to Rajin and Larenthar whenever they come back.
And here is the oil of sharpness. This is what it does.
You shorted out gold a little bit.
Yeah, I know, it's the most even way I can do it. The rest will go to like the party's pot.
That makes sense. So 160, and I'm taking the scrolls.
And then they're the 10 sling bullets. They're basically will probably go to either Syraxis or Larenthar. They are technically a +1 bonus to anything or weapon and for anything that has an ammunition property.
Larenthar just needs one.
Well, the thing is, once you hit with the item, I guess it's Larenthar. Once you hit with this item, it's no longer magical. So he would get it in return, but it'd just become a regular sling bullet. It wouldn't have the magical property to it.
Orden would have to hold on to Ragnar and Iris' gold. They've been busy while you guys have been messing with the chest and messing with the hut stuff. They've dragged the body of Baba Lysaga outside and found like the driest spot they could find and started not building a funeral pyre, but more of like a bonfire and trying to get it lit up so they can burn this body. It's not necessarily disrespectful, but it's definitely not in a respectful, reverent manner either. It's more of like we're doing this so that she doesn't come back.
I'm gonna set 2 little piles of 160 gold each aside for you guys to where Derek, don't delete them. It was visual. Come on. When Tyler did it, you were fine with it.
No, I wasn't. I deleted them.
No, when he put like the dead mongrel folks.
Oh, well, that was cool. Carry on.
I'm gonna keep one of these oils of sharpness. I guess it's just one oil of sharpness.
Mm-hmm.
What else in the loot bag have we not divvied up? We took the stone, the flask.
There's 5 gemstones. You can each have one.
Perfect. Okay, we'll do that.
And
then
with one being in the party pot. Actually, you can each have one because there's Iris and Ragnar, so you can each have one.
all right, that works for me. So I recommend to the party. So would recommend after if you guys struggle to set this bitch ablaze, she would firebolt the fire just to be like, let's go already. I'm done here. She could also actually no. What sounds even better? She would grab a stick and kind of just shake it till it caught on fire, and she could throw it to you guys and let you guys like do your weird dwarf stuff.
I mean,
and she would say that we really need to go somewhere and rest and continue on with our war escapade because now that the witch is done, she needs a new target, and I've lost my purpose.
I mean, we're not doing any dwarven rituals or anything. We're literally just burning the body to make sure that nothing, like, it doesn't get resurrected, it doesn't come back or anything like that. We've seen too much of that happen here. And I guess struggling with the fire would be up to Derek because we both have tinder boxes and things like that. So
There's no struggle. You can light a damn fire.
it's very, like I said, it's not crossing the line of disrespect, because it is a body, and they do believe that they don't want that juju on them, but it's definitely like It's definitely just kind of like tossing the body onto the fire. There's no disrespect to it, but there's not a reverence or respect to it either. It's just like a task that needs to be done.
Did we ever check her pockets or anything?
Nope. It's now on fire.
Let it burn. She probably only has like pieces of Strahd's hair and really creepy stuff.
Truthfully, if Syraxis says something, then Soul would care. But if Syraxis doesn't say anything, she's not going to care. But if his character
Yeah,
does, go ahead.
as you start kind of bringing up the option or the process of burning the body, Syraxis would point it out and say, did we ever uh, check inside of her wardrobe to see if she has anything of value in her?
If you want to fill her up, you're more than
A
welcome
rat.
to.
Soul would say, "Oh, look, you've had two great ideas today. You're doing really well today. I like this." She would walk over to the body using prestidigitation, snuff the flame, check her pockets.
There's nothing of value on her body.
So she would stand off the pile, and when she checked her pocket, she kind of like just kicked her over, and she was being disrespectful. She doesn't care. She kind of just kicked the body, checked one side, kicked it back, checked the other side. Kind of like shook her clothes a bit. It's like, nothing here. Pretty much a bad witch. That's all I see. So she'd kick her back over, lying on her face in the sticks. Grab one of the sticks, shake it till it caught on fire, and reset the bonfire ablaze, and be like, well, she had nothing.
Are you guys ready for a break?
Break time, break time.
Jeez.
All right. We are going to take a break, everybody. We're going to take about a 10-minute break. Refresh your beverages, let your dogs out, take your bio break, get everything you need to get done, because I'm sure we'll hang out in Barovia or Perez for another hour when we're back. We'll be back in about 10 minutes.
God
All
damn
right.
people.
There you go, Derek. Way to start the stream back up from break. Well,
Yeah.
I think Ray's the only person left that we need to get coming back from break now. Anyways,
I did that on
You'll
purpose.
never get me.
on that
I
note, it's all
literally did
yours,
that on
Derek.
purpose. I literally did that on purpose. I
I
waited for
never
you
say
to come back.
anything incriminating.
But how is it back to me? You guys are the ones plundering and deciding what you want to do.
Who's running
Has-
this shit show?
You.
You guys, I'm just the storyteller that feeds you information. You're the one that decides what to do.
Has the wyvern come back yet?
No.
No, the wyvern's probably. I figured, Derek, if he doesn't come back by like the next day, like morning the next day, then I'm just gonna assume that something happens and I have to re-summon him.
All right, let me do quick maths to just figure out how long it takes this stupid cloud to get over there. It's got to go 3 miles.
Well, you do that. We'll talk about what we're planning to do next or do for a rest. I know Iris and Ragnar are both due for a rest. It's just going to depend on deciding where we're going to do it.
I mean, at this point, we don't really have any leads, do we? We don't know where Erston sent it.
Well, we don't need to know where he's going. We just need to get our heads straight. We've already proven we can beat him, and we can do it again if he decides to show his sad little face. So what we'll do is we should lean on the fact that the little man over there sent his other little man to go follow it, and we'll just have to bank and see if that's gonna work. For now, we should go
If
link
you
up with
sat here for like 4 hours, he'd be back.
I was fucking talking.
Good. Go ahead.
I think you insulted him.
Good.
I'll pipe in and say, it's not Erston that I'm worried about. He said that he sent that gem somewhere that we don't know about. How are we going to get it back from there?
You also haven't searched the rest of the hut, but carry
Well,
on.
he said that he sent it far away, and he said that under the effects of Zone of Truth, so I have to assume that he was telling the truth.
True. If he answered it, he couldn't technically lie. Okay.
This is more just gravy, us getting extra stuff.
So are we gonna try to rest here? Are we gonna go back to the winery? Or are we gonna go up the road a bit and try to rest there? We can talk about what we do next after we rest, but I don't know about the rest of you. But Iris and I aren't doing anything else big until we rest. As long as we can help it.
Syraxis, do you think that your wyvern will be able to find its way back to us?
I've noticed that the familiars, they tend to be loyal in my commands. It's just the effectiveness. Wyvern seems to be faster than the fog, but whether something else has happened to disrupt him, it only takes one hit for him to be dispelled. So, as far as I can tell, if he doesn't show up within a few hours, then more than likely either the fog has traveled too far away or he was attacked by something. So it's really hard to tell. Hopefully he does come back and we can gather some information, though. But a rest does seem to be needed for the rest of the party.
Well, how about we wait here in the, maybe not in the hut, but somewhere where it's a little drier, and wait until the wyvern comes back.
I'm not too keen on exploring too much more of these ruins, theory, but it seems like this is the only building nearby that's at least got a floor and a roof. It's a bit cramped in there, but we could, if those hands are still asleep, we could take care of them. There is that building that way, and I'll point, Iris will point at the mansion. I don't think we ever knew if Larenthar went down there. I don't know if he ever said. Does anybody else remember?
I
No,
don't think he
definitely
ever
not.
said.
Well, then
He never
Iris
tells us.
Iris would point at the building, but say we could, we could check that place out, but then we might be getting ourselves into some trouble that we can't handle.
Well, there wasn't really anything that was really harmful around here the first time we came.
Tell that to me, Scar.
Besides Baba Lysaga, you know what I meant. Zaraxis, did you see anything that looked especially threatening around here?
Strexus, he would look over at the mansion, and he said, um, "When I was checking over here earlier, it didn't seem as if there was anything around this whole dilapidated village. But if we take shelter in that ruined mansion, at very least we'll have a bit of a stronghold, you could say, to keep watch of our surroundings. It is on a bit of a hill. Master always says never give up the the height advantage. Something I can't quite remember."
I think that'd probably be a smart place to go. Good idea, Zaraxis. And I'll start heading in the direction that he pointed to. Oops, I am still on the drawing board.
On draw. Is Soul following them?
Yeah.
Okey-doke. Then I shall read this person again. As you start to climb the hill there up towards this giant or old mansion, you see that east of the ruin, someone has erected a crude wooden fence, forming a circular yard in which several goats are penned. Surmounting the fence posts are human skulls. Jesus, I can't talk. And those are the goats.
There's just
Oh,
one
man,
big goat.
that. Yeah, it one big goat, just as 9 goats.
Do they look healthy?
Sort of. They're not dead.
I'm gonna just break down the fence so that they can get free. Because I imagine Baba Lysaga was feeding them and now she's not.
Okay.
But you're letting away our dinner.
Zaraxis, don't think of them like that. We've got rations.
Rations are no match for fresh meat.
There are surrounding the pen, each fence post. There were 50 human skulls, and as the second you start bashing down the fence, the skulls begin howling and making all kinds of noise.
Ooh. Can
Uh-oh.
I use sleep on this again?
No, these aren't living creatures, and they don't have health, so no.
Okay, can I just Can I start like knocking them off to make them be quiet?
One at a time.
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, Straxus would help out with that.
It's like, and you would see as you're doing that, you would see a garden area in the southern portion of the mansion grounds, and as you're bashing these skulls one at a time, a ghostly figure comes from the west, and I can't. Where'd I go? There we go. Comes from the west, and it's like, quit making all that noise. You'll attract that witch, this Baba Lysaga, and her scarecrows. There's we don't. I don't want to visit from her. And it's this
Uh-oh.
ghostly figure. Is like, be gone! I beseech you, leave.
I'm gonna hold up my hands to show that we don't mean any harm. And I'll just motion towards the hut and I'll be like, she's not coming. She was kind of dealt with a little while ago.
Yes, I heard a commotion coming from down there from her hut, but I assume that she dealt with whatever it was bothering her. There's nothing that could have defeated that witch.
The smoke is her burning body.
He's gonna roll an insight check to see if you're telling the truth. Oh, okay, yeah, he believes you. Does that mean that Perez is finally free of her control and whatnot?
Of her control, yes. Of Strahd's control, not by a long shot.
Oh, I wasn't even going there. That'll never happen.
We'll never say never. And I'll just kind of motion towards the rest of the group. I'll be like, we're working on trying to free the rest of Barovia. It's slow but steady.
What are you doing here, anyways?
I am forever trapped here in Berez. My name is what's his first name? I got his last name. What's his first name? Something Ulrich.
Larry.
Grigor. My name is Grigor Ulrich. I am the former burgomaster of Berez before it sunk into the marsh.
Wait, it wasn't always like this?
I have to tell this story because you guys weren't here. Long ago, Berez was a thriving village. Well, not thriving, but was a village full of living people that always went about their day. There, here, me and my wife Marina lived along the shore of the Luna River. But some time passed, and Strahd got word that of somebody of a woman of great beauty, which it was my Marina. He traveled here and in he traveled here at night one night and seduced her and courted her, but before he could take full control of her, I, with the aid of a priest, of the local priest, barged in and stopped him, but or tried to stop him, but we were unable. His power is unfathomable. He slew me and the priest that night, forever cursing me to wander the mansion here alone and forever. He doomed Berez, and the waters started rising. The river overflowed, and Berez was forever has been forever left in as a barren wasteland marsh.
What happened to your wife? Did Strahd take her?
To save her from forever being tormented and tortured by that monster, I was forced to take her life. Trust me, it's not something I'm proud of, but it is the only way I could keep her from an eternity of servitude of that man. And saved her soul from damnation.
I'm just gonna turn to Iris and Ragnar and Soul and just give them a look like that's kind of what we've got going on. How are we gonna avoid that happening?
Would Iris's cleric ability and knowledge give me any kind of insight on if there's a way to release his spirit from this, before killing Strahd?
Strahd refuses to let the Burgomaster's spirit find rest because of what he did to poor Marina. The only way that that he can be put to rest, he would explain, by proving to him that what he believes that Marina was one of the reincarnations of Tatiana, as is Irina, and he believes that the only way he can be put to rest is knowing that she is safe and not under Strahd's control and has not been taken by Strahd. But he must see that the reincarnation of Tatiana is safe.
I'll kind of look at Orden. Ragnar will kind of look at Orden at that point, as they've kind of been with Irina the longest, and not say anything because he doesn't want to bring attention to that they know where she's at, because he doesn't know if that's safe yet, but kind of hope that Orden gets the gist of that and trying to see what Orden thinks of that.
Can I insight check him to make sure that he's like telling the truth?
Go right ahead.
5.
You can tell shit.
Cool. I'm going to nudge Iris and kind of do like a cradling motion to kind of indicate that maybe she should pull out that doll that she got.
I haven't even mentioned that to Ragnar yet. And she'll pull out the Irina doll that she has that Ragnar purchased and present it to Orden.
At this point, I'm going to assume that he thinks this guy's legit because he scored so low. And I'll hold up the doll and I'll be like, did your wife look like this?
You just see an expression on his face, like one of utter disbelief. Why, that is an exact splitting image of my Marina. How did you get a doll that has been crafted so perfectly in her resemblance.
Well, that's kind of a long story, but the simple solution I can tell you is that we've been traveling with the girl that this doll resembles, and she's safe with us. She's not with us at the moment, but she's being kept somewhere very safe. Strahd hasn't gotten her.
You must bring her here. Show her to me so that I know she is safe. I I so long to see her face again.
I'm gonna crouch down to Iris and be like, can we just leave the doll with him until then? I don't know if it's safer to bring Irina down here.
I mean, I guess that's up to me, brother. I didn't commission the doll to be made. And I don't particularly have any attachment to it now that me brother's alive.
Ragnar, would you mind giving up this kind of creepy doll that you had made for some reason?
Don't you remember what I told you about the doll? I've got no use for it now that we took out Isaac, or at least got her away from Isaac. I got it when I was following him to figure out what he was doing, why he was being so strange and creepy. Thought I told you all that. Wouldn't just have a doll made of some girl for no reason.
I will take the doll and I will hand it to this ghost man. I don't know if it's going to be necessarily safe to bring her down here, but in the meanwhile, you can hold on to this. Maybe seeing her face will ease your spirit a little bit.
That is a very kind gesture, young one. But as you can tell, I am a ghost. I cannot carry these things.
Well, I'm sure you can still have it, and I'm going to like prop it up against some rubble to where it's not on the ground. There, see, she's safe. She's safe.
I've much appreciated it. It's been at least 200 years since I last saw her face. It it does me some good.
Sir, would you mind at all if we were to take residence here in your mansion, at least for a little while?
Why why of course. The ceiling's not what it was hundreds of years ago, but it might hold up, and it leaks a little bit. So if it rains, you might get a little wet. But you're more than welcome to stay. But and I'll warn you now. Don't don't go travel out into the gardens out back. The years haven't been kind, and the weeds and grass have overgrown, and there are some very vicious uh, snakes and creatures lurking in the tall grass.
Thank you, sir. And I'll just go ahead and head inside.
Hey,
Um, Staying safe close to Syraxis so he doesn't get scared.
hey there, does a 24 insight help us at all?
Or what?
To see if he's genuine or truthful or trustworthy?
Oh yeah, you fully believe him. He's definitely not being conniving in any way.
Okay. You'll notice that Iris just is kind of going along with um, what's going on right now, and seems okay with it.
All right, stop.
I'm so disappointed in all of you.
Syraxis would go back to piggybacking onto Orden, and he would thank the ghost for his hospitality. And he'd look over at Soul and said, "Well, you've been wanting a nap, haven't you? Get to it then, eh?"
If I feel safe, I might.
What if we
I
set up?
can
What if we set up watches? I think we should. I think we should be able to keep each other safe.
I can take the first watch. I know you guys might need a little bit more rest.
Maybe watches with like teams of two would be the best, so no one is out in the dangerous garden watching it alone. Possibly would be a good option.
There's only 5 of us right now.
Soul would volunteer to take her watch on her own because she does.
Unless one of y'all needs 4 hours of sleep instead of 8.
I only need to recover spell slots. I have full health.
Well, you still need
can-
the full 8 hours of rest, unless you're physically don't need to take 8 hours to rest.
I can take
I'd have to
2 shifts
relook
of
into it to see if I'm able to cut it short, but I don't think I picked up that perk. I don't think I have that.
I can take 2 shifts if I need to. From using my hit dice, I got about half HP, and I don't really like some spell slots would be nice, but I can hit things without spell slots.
I mean, if we're fully rested, we might as well fully rest. I mean, one of us may. I mean, if we have to draw lots or whatever, one of us may just have to take a shift on their own.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Surely
saying. I
it's
can
not
take
gonna
that.
quote unquote kill us.
We'll all get a long rest. Soul will take it on her own because I insist. She would strongly insist.
All right. Does Syraxis take the watch with Orden? Is that what you're implying?
Syraxis is okay with taking the watch with anyone. He just doesn't want to be out there alone. Is his thing. Preferably, he would like to take watch if he had a choice, either with Soul or with Orden, because he's trying to.
Well, he doesn't like dwarves. Okay, I got you.
Well, not necessarily. he he wants to learn some more magic stuff, and Soul is, just as much as he hates to admit it, Soul is a very powerful spellcaster, especially compared to him. And then he just has an affinity for dragons. So Orden being here is like the closest he can get to having Raging around. So that
I
is
will
kind of where he's at the moment.
I will say you'll learn a lot more from sticking with Soul than you will with sticking with me, because I don't really have anything I can teach you.
Right. So I think what Syraxis is going to do is he'll probably do like half of the watch with Orden, and then he'll probably take a nap, curl up like kitten style, next to Orden, and then when it's Soul's turn, he'll pop up on like the last half of Soul's watch.
I will
And
say,
kind of,
Orden just peppers him with lots of questions about what Dragonborns are like from his experience. He still thinks Syraxis is just a very tiny Dragonborn. Unless he decides to
and
correct him and say, no, I'm a kobold, he's going to keep believing that.
not Not at all. Syraxis will play that up so hard. He wants to be a Dragonborn more than anything in the world.
Awesome. So you're resting? Okay. You get your full rest. You will get your full rest. So everybody's going to be topped up and nice and healthy when they wake up. Nathan Prime, does your pygmy wyvern like have any senses? Like, does he feel cold or like heat temperature or anything? Does he have like a fear, or would he just do anything to follow that mist?
If he is given a command, he will do anything to complete that order to the best of his ability.
Okay, because he follows. He would follow the mist up the mountain to the south,
Mhm.
and the temperature drops quickly and dramatically, and there's snow starting to um become more prevalent on the mountainside, and the mist would get up to the side of a mountain would climb the peak, and over on the other side of the mountaintop, the mist that of Erston that the wyvern was following would just seep into a temple door and disappear behind a temple door.
Gotcha. Yeah,
And that is
that's
built
all he
into the
needs to
mountain.
be heading back. Okay. Yeah, so the wyvern would see that, and once it's kind of got a destination, he'll turn his ass around and come on back. But yeah, you'd probably see him probably struggling a little bit in the cold. He's probably not used to that. But at the end of the day, he's just a spectral being.
But yeah, he'd
So
probably get back to Berez and like during your rests.
yeah, once I notice he's back, if someone has to like wake me up or something like that, then yeah, he'd start communicating with the wyvern
Mm-hmm.
to get the deets.
Yeah, he'd follow. I don't know exactly what it's directly to the south, which you could point out on the map to the party once everybody wakes up, and the wyvern would tell you exactly where it is. Which I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
is a good stopping point for tonight, since everybody's resting and we can get going on the next adventure next time.
That could work for me.
Yeah.
Nathan.
Works for me, unless somebody's got something else they want to do.
Sounds like a good stopping point to me then.
Because we probably all need to discuss if we're going to go there next anyways, or if we're going to go to one of our other destinations first.
Oh yeah, we'll discuss that once next week or whatnot with Kevin.
Alrighty.
Once our fearless leader is back.
Any parting remarks?
My cat is here and he's very cute.
Go Bengals.
That's all I got.
Bye, dickheads.
Go Bengals. Fuck the Rams.
Agreed.
Anything is better than the Chiefs going.
That's true.
All right. Well,
The Kansas City Chiefs are the football equivalent of LeBron James.
No, that is Dallas. That is 100% Dallas.
No, Dallas is just a bad team in general. What I'm saying is the fanboys that just chase him. And like, you know, when LeBron went over to the Lakers, my last job, mystically, 80% of my job became Lakers fans. And it's the same. It's the same thing at this job. There's a whole bunch of Lakers fans now, and it's like you ask the other people who are at the job, and they're like, "Oh no, they weren't Lakers fans forever. It's fairly recent." It's like, oh, I wonder why. Maybe because somebody with a hair loss problem is there now.
Well,
I mean, we all know at the end of the day,
Great way to end a
next
D&D
year
stream.
is the Jets' year.
as
No.
as our goodbye and as
No,
us
it's the
saying
Browns'
we'll
year.
see you next we'll see you in another dimension, I will say that next year's Super Bowl is going to be the Titans and Dallas. Goodbye.
I thought